जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रजजनरंजन यमुनातीरवनचारि 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। गंगा में यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। गोवर्धन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just a second. Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12. Canto 10, Chapter 12, verses 6 to 11. Before that, verse number 6 to 11. Yadi duram gata Krishna vanashobhekshanayam aham purvam iti samsprishya rimare. Translation by Divine Grace, His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Sometimes Krishna would go to a somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. Then all the other boys would run to accompany him. Each one saying, I shall be the first one to run and touch Krishna. I shall touch Krishna first. Aham purvam, aham purvam. In this way, they enjoyed life by repeatedly touching Krishna. Kechid venum vadayanto dhumanta shringani kechana kechid bhringair pragayanta kujanta kokilai pare vichayaya bhi pradhavanto gacchanta sadhu ham kashay ham sakhay bakair upavishantascha nriyantascha kalapibhi vikarshanta kishabalan arohantascha taidruman viruvantascha sakam plavantascha palashishu sakam beker vilanghanta sharita shrava sampluta vihasanta pratichaya shapantascha pratiswanam itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijaru krita punya punja. Translation and purport. All the boys would be differently engaged. Some boys blew their flutes and others blew bugles made of horn. Some imitated the buzzing of the bumblebees and others imitated the voice of the cuckoo. Some boys imitated flying birds by running around after the birds' shadows on the ground. Some imitated the beautiful movements and attractive postures of the swans. Some sat down with the ducks, sitting silently, and others imitated the dancing of the peacocks. Some boys attracted young monkeys in the trees. Some jumped into the trees imitating the monkeys. Some made faces as the monkeys were accustomed to do, and others jumped from one branch to another. Some boys went to the waterfalls and crossed over the river, jumping with the frogs. And when they saw their own reflections in the water, they would laugh. They would also condemn the sounds of their own echoes. In this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of Brahman effulgence for Jnanis desiring to merge into the effulgence, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship, and who, for ordinary persons, is just another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the results of the pious activities for many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their good fortune? What the? Punya Punja, Krita Punya Punja. Yes. Purport. As recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami, Tasmat Kena Pi Upayena Mana Krishna Niveshayet, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 124. Somehow or the other, whether one thinks of Krishna as an ordinary human child, as the source of Brahman effulgence, as the origin of Paramatma, or as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should concentrate one's full attention upon the lotus feet of Krishna. That is also the instruction of Bhagavad Gita 1866. Sarva dharmana parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. Srimad Bhagvatam is the easiest way of directly approaching Krishna. Ishvara sadhya riddhe avaruddhyatetra kritibhi shushrusubhis tat kshanat. Bhagavatam 112. Diverting even a little of one's attention toward Krishna and activities in Krishna consciousness immediately enables one to achieve the highest perfection of life. This is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. Lokshaya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. Bhagavatam 176. The secret of success is unknown to people in general, and therefore Srila Vyasadeva, being compassionate toward the poor souls in this material world, especially in this age of Kali, has given us the Srimad Bhagvatam. Srimad Bhagvatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. Bhagavatam 12, 13, 18. For Vaishnavas who are somewhat advanced, or who are fully aware of the glories of potencies of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam is a beloved Vedic literature. After all, we have to change this body. Tatha dhyantara prapti. If we do not care about Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, we do not know what the next body will be. If one adheres to these two books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagvatam, one is sure to obtain the association of Krishna in their next life. Tyakta deham punarjanma neti mameti swarjuna. Therefore, distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world is a great welfare activity for theologians, philosophers, transcendentalists and yogis, yoginam api sarvesham, as well as for people in general. Janma labdha para pumsam antev narayana smriti. Bhagavatam 2:16. If we can somehow or other remember Krishna, Narayan, at the end of our life, our life will be successful. Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangulangayati Grim Yat Kipatham Mande Shri Guru Dina Taranam Vancha Kalpata Vaisha Kipasindhavaya Chapatitanama Pavanebhya Vaishnavabhya Namo Namah. So today is Govardhan Puja and very beautiful purport and verses. So Shukdev Goswami is mentioning how the devotees, how the associates of Shri Krishna and Balram are enjoying the forest of Vrindavan and Govardhan. Haridasa Varyo, Radhana Maharaj mentioned that one of the particular gopis, today he was mentioning, Kartik Yatra started. So he was mentioning that one particular gopi who the acharyas say that is Srimati Radharani. She says, Haridasa Varyo. Yes. We are aspiring to be Gopir Padakamalayora Dasa 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 Anudas. Servant of the servant of the servant. And who is the greatest servant? Srimati Radharani herself is exclaiming that the greatest servant is Haridasa Varyo. She Giriraj Govardhan. Why? He's serving, Maharaj was explaining, he's serving Krishna and Balram, not only Krishna and Balram, but he's serving all of the calves, all of the cows, all of the gopas, all of the gopis. Yes, he's providing them with sweet grass. What is Padma Gandha? Padma Gandha grass. For the milk, which are going to give milk to Krishna. It's all about Krishna. But Haridasa Varyo, Giriraj Govardhan is having very soft, very beautiful rocks, very beautiful caves to rest in, very beautiful trees, forests, gunjas, kunjas, gunjamalas, flowers, birds, deers, tigers, everything so beautiful. Giriraj is providing all of it to all of the conscious entities of Vrindavan, to all living beings. Everybody is living, right? Chintamani. He is providing shelter for all. Providing for all. We can't even imagine how much service is that. Yes, when Krishna walks on one of the rocks of Giriraj Govardhan, it's cooling in the summer. They all take rest on the rocks of Govardhan. And in the winters they are warm. Yes, there are caves which give shade, beautiful caves to play around, the streams, the rivers, the waterfalls. Yes, and Maharaj was explaining that we are here. Yes, they are in Vrindavan, in Govardhan right now. But yes, wherever we are, our consciousness, if it is in Govardhan, we are in Govardhan. We are doing the parikrama. There is Shyama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Govinda Kunda, Surya Kunda. Yes, Madhurna Puri's Baithak. The eyes of Govardhan, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. So, all these boys over here, the verse explains that they are behaving so very beautiful ways. Some are playing their flutes, the bugles, they're imitating the bumblebees. They're flying like the birds. They're imitating the monkeys. Amrita Prabhu mentions that once Krishna, they all saw the swans. They always go in couples. And they are intimate, they're looking at each other, they're minding their own business, and they're swimming along, moving to and fro, to and fro. And Krishna and all the sakhas, they will go and then underwater, and they will be so silent. How skillful is Krishna? Yes, how skillful is Krishna? He's perfect in everything. But Radha Govind Maharaj mentions that we should observe, because we get attracted so easily in this world with someone who gives nice classes, with someone who is a great orator, with someone who has great poetry, Robert Frost, this person, that person, and all the William Shakespeare. And we appreciate like anything. But Krishna over here is so beautiful, his vacha, yes, his face, his moon-like face, his red, sweet lips like the bimba fruit, his nose is like the sesame flower, big eyes, looking here and there, looking at everyone, mesmerizing the whole of Vrindavan. Who can be skillful like Krishna? Who can be the most beautiful? No one. And that's why when we see anything great in this world, it is just a spark. We cannot even imagine how beautiful. And so the boys are going into the water, and then the swans are, moving, minding their own business. Yes. And then behind them, they don't even realize all the boys are behaving like them. Krishna, very perfect, like a swan. And everybody is watching, and everybody is clapping. They say, oh, Krishna is such a perfect swan. Hey, look at me, Krishna says. Yeah, I can do this. And then the swans get to know there's something behind. They look behind, and there's Krishna, there's all the sakhas. And they get bewildered, they run, and then everybody's laughing. They're behaving like frogs, they're jumping into the Yamuna. Sweet waters, the kundas of Govardhan. So, Srimati Radharani mentioned, his Haridasa Varyo. So much service, Giriraj is doing. He could have said, so many things. Oh no, you're stamping on me, doing this, doing that. Nobody's supporting each and every entity. And that's why Srimati Radha, he's enabling, he's assisting all the sakhas, the gopis, the birds, the deers, the cuckoos, the monkeys, the waterfalls. They are engaged in Krishna's service, and he is the support of all of that. What great service. Because of him, they are able to do these pastimes, such beautiful pastimes in Govardhan. Srila Rupa Goswami mentions in Upadeshamrita that the greatest place in Mathura Mandal is Govardhan. Yes. And it goes from Vaikunta to Goloka, then Mathura. And amongst Govardhan is Radhakund and Shyamkund. Radhakund is the greatest, which is in the premises of Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan. So beautiful. People perform the parikrama today. So thousands and thousands of people are doing the parikrama. Since morning, 4 o'clock, they get up, they run, they start performing the parikrama of Giriraj Govardhan. If we see with our material eyes, we won't be able to appreciate. But when we hear these pastimes from great devotees, great acharyas, we can see how great. We are going to have the katha today in the evening. So we'll just say some lines before what happens, how it goes to that worship of Giriraj Govardhan. Today Krishna performed that greatest pastime of actually diverting everyone's attention and showing how great is Giriraj. He should be worshipped. Yes, he should be worshipped. Out of all the great devotees, he is the greatest of all. And that's how actually a devotee is. It's so difficult to do that, to just be an assistant, to just support other devotees in their service to Krishna. Yes, usually we want to do the service. We want to be on the altar. We want to be the singer. We want to be the orator. We want to be the class giver. It's about me. Yes. We want to be the great manager. We want to be the great organizer, the great decorator, and the great this player, that player. Such puffed upness. We want to be all of that. Janma Ishwarya Shruti Shribhi. Because of all these things, it's so difficult to actually see the glories of Vrindavan and Govardhan. And Giriraj Govardhan over here is supporting. He's not even saying one word. But Srimati Radharani is glorifying him. The great Acharyas glorify him. They're praying down, they're bowing down to him. Before Govardhan Puja, the Gopas and the Gopis, they were just going on their own business. But he's not complaining that I'm doing so much service, nobody's actually looking at me. It's so hard to give up power, prestige and status and to just be an assistant, to be a servant of all the devotees who are lovers of Krishna. We want to be the devotees of those servants who are pure devotees. Yes. But Giriraj Govardhan is not thinking that, I will only serve Radha and Krishna. I won't serve the Gopas. I cannot serve the trees. They're lower than me. Look at me. Krishna steps on me. I'm so great. He doesn't say all that. He's just assisting. He's providing whatever is needed more and more for Krishna's pleasure. And so one day in the morning, everybody's arranging, today actually. In the morning, Krishna and Balram, they get up and they've done their duties of the day. They get up and they see everywhere. Everybody's in a rush. What are they doing? Why are they moving here and there? So much bhoga is made. Mountains and mountains of rice, glistening with ghee. So many sweets, so many fruits, so many sabjis, gulab jamuns. So much is being prepared. Why? Everybody is so busy, nobody has the time. And then Krishna approaches Nanda Baba. What is happening? Why is everybody in a rush? He's 7 years old. He goes to Nanda Baba and says, Baba, what is this? Yes? What are we doing today? What is so mesmerizing? Why is everybody in a rush? Radha Govind Maharaj in one of the classes, he gave a chaupat, he mentions that, very beautifully he says, Nanna sa balak, isko kuch nahi aata, isko nikalo, jao khelo. He says that, this kid, he will create trouble. Go and play somewhere else. बड़े लोग इधर बात कर रहे, बीच में बात नहीं करना चाहिए. आया बात करने बड़ा पंडित. And then he's laughing. Everybody laughs in the audience. He's mentioning that this kid, he thinks he's a big pandit. Go and play somewhere else. Do not be here. And then Krishna is like, in Vrindavan, actually, how much ever Krishna tries to show that his Supreme Personality, it doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all. And then he's like, no. We are a family, right? I'm your son. We have affection for each other. So people who have affection for each other, they should share the deepest secret. Because eventually in the end, I am only going to, be in line after you, who's going to do the service. So tell me, my father, if you have affection, please tell me, what is the beautiful thing? What is the beautiful thing? What are we doing this today? And then he mentions, Nanda Baba mentions, Nanda, Lala, Gopal, today we are worshipping, Indra. Why? Because we are Gopas. Yes. Our duty is to do agriculture. We have to tend the cows. And who gives rain for the grass which the cows eat? Jai Shri Radha Madhava. Jai Giriraj Govardhan. Who gives water to us? It's Indra. So it's a long, long tradition. Thousands of years ago we started it. Even great ancestors have been doing it. So we have to do this. And then Krishna knowing that how Indra is puffed up. Lord Indra being a devotee, Maharaj says, sometimes things happen. And Maharaj says, if somebody is actually proud, Krishna will make sure that he will break that pride in such a way we will have to become humble. There is no other way. We'll be crushed under the weight of Krishna's glories. We are like a glowworm in front of the big sun. So the whole Krishna mentions, so Nanda Baba is mentioning, and then he's like, Krishna is like, no, why do we have to do this? Actually, there is no such thing as this. It's only destiny. It's in our hands. We have to worship karma. It's only karma and nothing else. Work is worship, Krishna mentions. Whoever it is, whether the demigods or the Supreme Person, he has to give the results of our karma. So we should actually worship not Indra. We should worship whom? Giriraj. Yes. Why Giriraj? He's providing so much for all of us. Because of him we are surviving. And then everybody's like, Nanda sa balak. Ignorant fool. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Leave, go. Go from here. Let the elders do the whole thing. No. And then Krishna is still arguing. No. And then he's like, okay, you know what? I will be very happy if we worship Govardhan. It is my wish, my desire that everybody worship Govardhan. And then he says that, then everybody, all the Brajavasis, imagine breaking a tradition for thousands of years. If we know that we have a tradition in our life which comes from a cultural background, whether it is Karwa Chauth, this, that, Diwali, whatever it is, Lakshmi Puja and everything, Ganesh Utsav, Navratra, our big festivals, New Year, whatever New Year's in cultural events are the 31st December. We have been doing it since childhood. And now we come to the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And then we don't do that here. Yes. We may do it, but we don't do it in the temple. Even if we do it, it's just to attract more and more people. But actually Prabhupada did not do many of these things. Yes. For me, it's like we celebrate Gudi Padwa in March. And somebody said, Happy Gudi Padwa. I'm like, okay, happy to you too. But it's not my New Year. Even though we have been celebrating for centuries, right? My New Year is Gaur Purnima. We don't celebrate New Year on Gudi Padwa. No need. Why? It has nothing to do with me. I'm not culturally identifying with that. Yes, for enjoyment, okay. But actually, no, identification is with our Sampradaya, Gaudiyas. That is Abhiman, Haldar Maharaj mentioned. That's real parampara. That's real thing. So over here, Nanda Baba is actually breaking. He's changing the whole course of history by breaking the tradition. That's the lesson. It's a pastime of the Lord. And Maharaj mentioned, as we surrender, as we are sincere, as we are tolerant, as we are doing service towards, our gurus and Krishna, that's how we'll reciprocate. Otherwise, we can be here for 50 years and 60 years and 20 years and 10 years. It's not going to show up in our heart, Govardhan will be just, it will be a momentary ecstasy thing. The time the altar opens and we are ecstatic. And then after 5 minutes, it's gone. Why? Because it's just material maybe. Somewhere it's connected to Krishna. That's why it's good. But we don't feel ecstatic after that. Oh, let's do this. Oh, this has to be done. That has to be done. Right? So Nanda Baba is breaking the tradition of thousands of years. Can't even imagine. And they are not even doing it for God. They are just doing it for the love of Krishna. And that's why Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, and it comes connection to the purport today. Somehow or the other, whether one thinks of Krishna as an ordinary human child, as the source of Brahman effulgence, as the origin of Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of God, one should just focus on Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants. And Nanda Baba is doing the same thing. And that's why they are Brajavasis and we are not. Going in Braja and living over there doesn't mean that we become a Brajavasi. This is what it means to become a Brajavasi. Being attached to Krishna. Yes, that is the real Brajavasis. Yes. Otherwise, just being born over there, that's great, obviously. But after that, if We are not doing Krishna consciousness. If we go and stay in Braj for it will make a change, yes, definitely. But the attempt has to be from our end also. Our sincerity also has to be there. We cannot just remain the way we are. Yes, we have to focus on the Lord. Yes. We have to do our own bhajan also. Yes. So that's why Nanda Baba is over there. Why? Because he gave up that tradition. In the moment, Krishna wants it, okay, I will do it. Not like us, maintaining our own thing and all. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. We still have that identification that I am belonging to this culture, that thing and this thing. And misidentification of the soul, that's why we are here. And then we maintain that because I cannot give it up. What if something happens? And that's what happened in Govardhan Lila. Something bad happened. But Krishna protected because they are all surrendered. Yes. So we have to be surrendered like that. Somebody was mentioning, what are you doing on Diwali? What is Diwali? Good over evil and all that stuff. No, that is not Diwali for us. Diwali is this, Govardhan Lila, Damodar Lila. Yes. Krishna killing all the asuras. That's Diwali, not this. Yes. So we are going to celebrate it today in the evening after 5:30. Yes. So we will have that same festival which was performed 5,000 years back. Today again, yes, circumambulating Govardhan Hill. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
समुद्र मंथन में भी अहम पूर्व था, वहाँ असुर लोग हम
वो वासुकी के लिए
तो जो बांट रहे थे ना,
हाँ अमृत बांट रहे थे हमें पहले।
असुर सब अहम पूर्व करके आपस में झगड़ा करते हैं। तब भगवान बोला कि तुम लोग अपना झगड़ा शांति करो, तब तक मैं इन पे खिला जाऊंगा कर गया अहम पूर्व।
राधा गोविंद महाराज में सुन रहा था
बहुत बढ़िया।
या मैं सुन रहा था एक्चुअली समुद्र मंथन उसमें था। सब पागल हो जाते हैं मोहिनी को देखते हैं। जय
हम